good stewards live their ashes. We are celebrating today yet another Ash Wednesday, the beginning of yet another Lent, a 6-week period in which we're called to introspection, called to look inside, to see how we're doing, to sacrifice a little bit more, and hopefully become a better person, not just during Lent, but for the rest of our lives. In 1971, a Canadian band, the 5-man electrical band, had a hit. The name of the hit was The Signs. And the chorus went like this: "Don't do that. Can't you read the sign?" Well, we are Catholic Christians. Can't we read the sign? The sign of the cross. That sign is supposed to guide our lives, and not just during Lent, but every day of our lives. We're called, because of that sign, to be as much like Jesus Christ, the Son of God, as our humanity allows. We're called to do what He did on the cross. He forgave His enemies. We're called to love all, including our enemies. We're called to choose to be last and not first, to be humble. We're called to serve and not be served. We're called to pray every day. We're called to minister in our homes. That's the primary way, but like Jesus, outside of the home as well. And we're called to give sacrificially. Put God first in our lives in every way, including our money. Don't give to God last if there is something left over. Here's a modern fable. Marilyn was like a lot of New Orleanians. She actually loved Ash Wednesday. Every Ash Wednesday, she was in church, went to Mass, got ashes and the sign of a cross on her forehead. And all day, Ash Wednesday, when people asked her about that sign of the cross on her forehead, was proud to say, "Well, I'm a Catholic. And that cross is a sign of my Catholicism. It's a sign that I know life doesn't last all that long. I know that pretty soon I'm going to be dust again. And I am supposed to, when I'm alive, right now, do what I can to be like Jesus Christ." But Marilyn didn't so much live her words. She went to Mass and received ashes on Ash Wednesday, but she almost never went to a holy day of obligation. Frequently missed Sunday Mass. She prayed infrequently. She never once joined a ministry or some kind of charitable organization. She gave when the thought occurred to her and she had some money left over. But during the course of her life, gave under 1% of her income. Well, ironically, Marilyn died in her 81st year on Ash Wednesday. And she took that long trip to the pearly gates, thinking What's this going to be like? What is Jesus going to say? And she was pleased because, as he does with all of his spiritual brothers and sisters, Jesus was standing at the pearly gates looking at Marilyn with great love. And Marilyn got there and said, "Lord, look, I've got ashes on my forehead." And Jesus said, "Good for you, Marilyn, good for you." "Can I come in, Lord?" "Well, let me check the record." Jesus came back a few minutes later and said, "Well, Marilyn, you've got ashes on your forehead, but you also have a lot of smudges on your soul. You rarely went to Sunday Mass. You rarely talked with my dad or me or with the Holy Spirit. You didn't pray much. In your entire life, you never joined a single ministry or charity. And you were very stingy in giving to the poor and needy through church and charity. My sisters and brothers, let's let Jesus and Marilyn figure out whether she gets in. But for us, on this Ash Wednesday especially, let us remember, we are all called to be good stewards, and good stewards live their ashes.